Hi guys, I'm Kristen and welcome to Studio Knit. I think it's time to add to the summer knit series, and because I love creating cyanotypes, that is a process of making really pretty pictures in the sunshine. I thought it would be really fun to combine cyanotypes and knitting to create something entirely new. Now, anybody can do this project, all ages. You do want adult supervision because there is some chemical processing involved, and you don't have to be a knitter. You can take any sort of knitted item that you have in your closet, a sock, anything will work, a scarf, and you can do this project along with me as well. Cyanotype is a vintage developing process. It was created in 1842, used to make blueprints. Natural sunlight exposure makes all the magic happen. Placing objects onto cyanotype paper allows the light to create a silhouette effect and makes photograms. The finished product has your exposed areas of your paper developing into a vibrant Prussian blue, while the areas covered up by your knitwear will retain the original white color of your paper. So all of the materials that I'm using in this video, as well as where I purchased them, are available over on my website at Studio Knit, and all of the detailed written instructions are over there as well. So just sit back, relax, enjoy watching my project unfold, and then when you're ready to do your own, hop on over to the website and you'll have a whole rundown of everything that you need to get started. I'm going to create my own cyanotype paper. There is pre-made paper that you can purchase. It makes things a lot easier, but creating your own paper is actually a lot more cost effective and pretty fun. Following the instructions for the sensitizer set that I purchased here, you fill up both bottles A and B, each with water, shake them, and then allow them to sit for at least 24 hours before you prepare your paper. So it's the next day and I am ready to coat my watercolor paper with the solution. Safety first, since we are working with chemicals, make sure you have some gloves. I'm wearing some disposable latex gloves here. I worked in a pitch dark bathroom with a vintage photography Patterson safe light that I saved from my dad's dark room. But I'm going to do a few samples here in the light so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Using a paintbrush, simply start stroking the mixed solution onto your paper. You can either do it really perfectly, and a very thin layer is all that you need. It takes a very little amount. You can do really clean strokes, or you can enjoy even more painterly effects by dripping and swirling your solution. I even did a few where after it dried, I went back and added more. So while I was preparing the paper, I thought it would be interesting to also brush the solution on a little knitted swatch. So I'm going to create an additional video and we can see how that turns out. I haven't done it yet. The little swatches are currently drying. They take a lot longer to dry than the paper here does. So as soon as that's ready, I will post that video here on my channel. So make sure you are subscribed and click that little notification bell so that you can see how that turned out as well. Once your cyanotype paper is dry, it has sort of a muted green chalky look to it. And using a blocking mat and pins, I am going to take different swatches from my knit stitch patterns, and I'm going to just stretch them as far as I can and pin them down on the mat. And then sliding my cyanotype paper face up and pinning it down securely in place. I stretched out the material so that the sun has more area to penetrate the paper, because that's where the blue occurs. And once you've covered your paper with your knitwear, then you'll want to put a pane of glass on top of everything. I just popped out some glass from some photo frames. I brought my project out into the sun. The ideal time is at solar noon so that the sun is shining directly down upon you. So high noon isn't always at 12 o'clock. There's daylight savings time and your exact location on the map is a factor. So I found a website. It's called suncalc.net. I'll have a link for you. It helps determine exactly what time your area has the sun in that solar noon position. You can also look down at your own shadow, and if it's directly under you, then it's time. And I'm weighing everything down with a few rocks. It's a little windy out, and I just want to make sure that everything stays in place. And then keeping it out in the sun for about 5 to 15 minutes. The longer, the better, as long as your objects don't shift, and that sun doesn't shift too much in the sky either. Coming back inside, it's time for the big reveal, and you can immediately take your paper out and see the different designs. You'll see that your paper still has a dull, chalky look to it. Oh, this one is cool. This is the cable heart, and that came out really crazy. And just as I hoped, the zigzag pattern turned out great too. I did a little combo on this one with a rib stitch and the daisy stitch. Once you've removed your cyanotype paper from your knitwear, it is bath time. Oh, and I am using my gloves again because I'm working directly with the chemicals. Using cool water, run your paper directly under the stream. I also have a little bin here. Use materials that you are not going to eat with since this is chemicals. I'm just using a little craft bin here, and that's going to catch the water. So to save on water, I sort of let it sit in the bath a little bit. The water is having the chemicals, so there's like a bluish greenish tint to the water, and I continue this bath and I dump out the water about 3 times until the water in that bin runs clear. And during the bath process, you'll begin to see that beautiful, vibrant blue and the crisp white appearing. It's really fun. The paper, watercolor paper, holds up really well to this for obvious reasons. And for extra vibrancy, your print design will become more pronounced as it dries, but you can also speed up that process. So with 1 teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide per each cup of water, I'm going to do 4 cups of water, so that is 4 teaspoons of hydrogen peroxide. Finish it up by swishing your artwork for about 5 minutes in this little bath solution, and then lay out to dry. And no longer with the chalky look, there's a real vibrancy to this blue. Each pattern definitely created its own really cool, unique design and print. I'm super happy with the results, and to finish up my project, I am going to frame it. I found this really cool frame by Umbra. I'll have a link in the description below if you'd like to check it out. And it makes a really beautiful, clean, crisp, pretty design. And if you are a studio knitter, it's always really fun to find ways to show your love of knitting sort of in a unique way in any room of your house or office. My next Cyanotype project will be making these prints directly on knitted swatches themselves. It's going to be really interesting to see what that process is and exactly how they turn out. I hope you are inspired to create your own Cyanotype artwork with your knitwear. Thank you so much for watching. Please like up this video. I have more really fun videos in my summer knit series that I know you're going to love. I have the playlist and everything you need to know down in the description below. And I will see you next time, guys. Bye!